Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Gotta get rid of the emojis. Right now, I'm gonna go to live chat. And I gotta go over here and copy the link. Sunstar, how you doing? Yeah, we should be good to go. Well, Sunstar Skyfly. Good morning, good morning. The weather here is kind of not the best. It's cloudy, hazy. That storm from the hurricane is supposed to arrive somewhere later today, and it's supposed to bring us a couple of inches of rain by overnight and tomorrow before it moves off to the east. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Paul. Well, your weather's better than ours. We've had torrential rain all morning. It's stopped for a while, and we've been given a amber warning for thunderstorms this afternoon. Hi, Don.
Football, good morning. Yeah, it's several inches of rain in some places. West of me, it's supposed to be even heavier rain. We're supposed to get maybe a couple of inches, but they got 4 to 6 inches west of me. And it's all moving like in an arc coming around. Hey, Donald, how you doing?
Morning, kids. What kind of topics are we going to cover today?
Who knows? It's kind of open. Have you got a topic?
Oh, I ain't got nothing.
Give me a stop. Every time I get on the computer, Mia comes over here and starts bugging me. What do you want?
We have a nice chocolate bar called the Topic.
You have a what?
A chocolate bar that's called Topic. It's a nugget bar with whole hazelnuts in it and covered in chocolate.
Huh.
Or I suppose if you want the correct pronunciation of nugget, it's nougat.
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 No,
We
nougat.
pronounce it. We
It's a-
pronounce it as nougat, right? Nougat.
Yeah, it's a French word though, so it's supposed to be nougat, but we all call it nugget.
We call it nougat. We pronounce the hard T at the end.
Mm,
But we get the French new instead of ne.
mm.
Is it nougat?
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, I started watching a British show from like 2013 last night.
Uh-huh.
Utopia. Did you ever watch that from Channel 4?
Utopia.
Yeah.
Good question. Possibly. Can't remember.
It's kind of like a thriller, but it's about a drug company that they manufacture a disease and then tailor the cure to a specific group. It's very bizarre, but very similar to the uh, was it the conspiracy theories that surrounded COVID. But it,
Mhm.
but the show was made in like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, I'm watching, I'm like, is this where the people, the conspiracy theorists around COVID got their ideas?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Mr. Skyfly wants to know what's for breakfast, Don.
I don't eat breakfast usually. What I'm doing right now is my wife made up some like pretzels. She puts like different seasonings in the pretzels and bakes them. And I prefer my pretzels plain, but she makes a bunch of these, and we're gonna get on the road later on today and head up to see uh, my daughter. And her boyfriend really likes these, so she made a bunch of them.
Now, how long a drive is that?
It's several hours. Tell you the truth, I don't even really know exactly how long it takes. I should. I've driven it a few times,
Mhm.
but I know it takes all the way from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Uh, 5.5 hours.
Wow.
Oh, that's a fair way.
Yeah.
Now, what are you gonna do? Stay overnight or?
Oh yeah. We're gonna stay for a couple days. Actually, I believe the plan is to stay, come back Friday.
So wife's got some time off work.
Yeah.
So what time are you planning on leaving?
Oh, I don't know. She's at a doctor's appointment right now, so whenever she gets done, we'll load up and go. I still have to.
Well,
But
you should get up there by dinner time anyway, right?
oh yeah. I still need to go downstairs and get some camera gear loaded.
You're gonna take your drone?
I don't know. I might.
Whatever you feel like loading, right?
Well, I know I'm gonna take the GoPro and my uh, Sony A7. Sony A7. We're gonna go up there. We want to take some pictures. My wife has some ideas. She wants to take some pictures of the granddaughter, and maybe get some pictures of the boys as well while we're at it.
Well, how
But
many how many kids are up there?
3, 2 boys and a girl, and we've only seen the girl. Well, when she was born, and then they came down to visit around Easter.
Okay.
But the boys don't like to sit still for pictures, but she's still an infant. She's still under a year, so she's easy to kind of wrangle.
Mm.
Now, how old are the boys?
4, 3. Yeah.
So they're still young, but they're mobile, but they're still young.
Yeah. So my wife wants to do some actual setup pictures. So I'm taking the A7, and then I want to take the GoPro and probably just a iPhone mount for just grabbing run around shots. Like we're gonna go to the zoo and stuff, and I don't want to haul the big camera through the zoo or anything like that. So I'll probably just have the GoPro for that.
You're taking a tripod as well.
Probably not the tripod, probably a monopod.
Monopod would work because you're not gonna be leaving the camera, you can't you just take the monopod.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take the monopod, and I'll probably also take uh, a grip mount. So if we want to get a shot of all of us together, I can clamp it on something and
Mm. Has it got a remote? Yeah.
So you would use use your cell phone then with one of those steady things?
I've got my Osmo Mobile. I don't know if I'll bust it out or not because it's kind of a pain to. It's a Mobile 2, and it takes a bit to balance.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah, you can get some good steady footage with it. And if I don't have anything specific I'm wanting to shoot, I might take it. I haven't busted out for a while. It might be fun to pull out and get some
I
shots
got
with.
an email from DJI saying there's an upgrade on firmware for the Osmo 6 now.
Well, with the new
Get it.
GoPros, GoPro 10, and on the stabilization is so great, and auto leveling is so great on those. It kind of
Mm.
makes the Osmo pointless.
Good morning, Jonathan Jackson.
Oh, they put in Active Track 6 on the Osmo 6 now.
That is one thing I do like about if I'm shooting solo. I've used it a few times, but setting the tracking mode in the Mimo app, go ahead and highlight, and it'll track you as you kind of move around, and it acts
Yeah.
kind of like as a cameraman. I like that.
Mm. Has the 2 got a built-in tripod on it? No.
No.
Now the 6 has. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no.
handy.
The 2 is just a pistol grip. I don't know if it's got a quarter 20. I don't remember if it has a quarter 20 thread on the bottom or not. It might. I think it does. Yeah, it's got a
Mm,
quarter thread on it because I've used it mounted before. It just sits there.
yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think it does have that little flat It does have that little tripod that you screw on and it sets out flat.
Mm,
So yes, to answer your question, it's got a little tripod. It's not built in though.
all right. The Osmo 6 even has a built-in selfie stick. It extends as well, which is quite handy. Only about 18 inches or so, but it's enough to make it useful.
Speaking of, I'll go down here and I think I'm gonna keep my gear down to 2 cases. The Sony has its own case with all the lenses and stuff, so it's going to be set. And then I've got my other case here, so I have room in it. If I pack everything in here, I can go ahead and pack my Osmo, my Mavic, and my GoPro in here. And it even has room to put my landing pad on it.
There you go. Crash here.
Isn't that great? Great.
Yeah.
I need it to make another one, but make it a little bit bigger.
You know, you probably could manufacture those and sell them.
I probably could. Print up just those landing pads, kind of like the little folding landing pads.
Yep.
Right here.
Mhm. Yeah, I've got one of those collapsible
What you could
circular
do is
ones and
you
a
could label on
folding
both
square
sides
one.
of those landing pads like that. On one side you say crash here, and the other say good to go. You know. Whichever way you flip it.
Oh yeah, I gotta see if that will fit. Yes, that is the other thing. Making sure that my I've got like a diffuser. So we're gonna be shooting a picture of my granddaughter. My wife bought a mirror and some decorations. We're gonna set her on top of the mirror with the decorations around and try and get her attention in the mirror so she's looking at the camera in the mirror
Yeah.
and get the shot that way. She saw it online, thought it was a cute picture, so that's what she wants to do. And so we'll probably be outside for that and just using a diffuser to cut the sun a little bit. And maybe I should grab a reflector as well.
Saw an interesting picture with a mirror where the girl was actually sat on the floor with the mirror on her knee between her legs and her neck so that it reflected the grass in front of her. So all you saw were her legs on the floor and her head floating, basically floating above the mirror kind of thing. And the mirror, everything reflected in the mirror was the grass, so it just looked like she was hanging in midair.
Okay, so now the question is, how light do I want to pack? If I start packing stuff, do I want the small reflector or the big reflector?
Well, once it's in the car, it can stay in the car until you need it.
Well, no, I don't leave anything in the car. So everything I take, I need to haul up to the room. So I would like to really get everything into this case. For these two cases. So take the Mavic out. I don't need that arm. I don't need that. I might use that. I don't need Pro Audio. Yeah, when I pack this case, if I pack it with just the Mavic and the Osmo and the GoPro, I also have room to slide Fisheye into the side, his little box, and stick him in there. But I don't think I'm going to have room to take him.
Well, fisheye will fit in your coat pocket.
No, he's got those lumpy eyeballs.
Ah, right, yeah.
Now I've only taken Fisheye on vacation with me once. And that was back when he just had the flat, googly eyes that were just kind of glued on. And now he's got the ping pong ball eyes, so they don't fit as well. But yeah, I've got video of him. I popped him out in front of the Alamo and had like a sombrero on top of his head and a mustache. Let me see that. If I do that.
So Jonathan, what's good with you? Jonathan's in the chat.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hey, Jonathan.
And Mr. Skyfly says, poor Fisheye, left home alone.
He's an asshole. He never takes me anywhere.
You could always put your Mini inside Fisheye as a protective cover.
Let's see if that Mini will sit on top of there.
So what's your target time for departure? Around noon or?
I don't know when she will be getting done with her doctor's appointment. And yeah, it's got the quarter 20 on the bottom of it. And it's the pistol grip.
There you go.
I might take that. Just to take it.
Mm-hmm. Make sure it's charged.
Yeah, that's what I was just now thinking. I was like, yeah, I better go charge it. Because it's been sitting in this for quite a while. I think it's probably dead.
Well, it's good to be
Huh?
charged.
It's still got 3 bars on it, but
Oh, wow.
wow. But that's just USB-C. I can throw it on real quick.
Yeah, make sure your mini batteries are charged.
Well, I know I probably will not be flying tonight, but if I fly tomorrow night, hell, I need to charge that. And my anti-collision is also dead.
Anti-collision.
The light.
Yeah, the sensors tell it anti-collision.
Not anti-collision,
It doesn't have sensors on the mini one.
no, the light for flying at night.
Oh, the night.
All right. Strobe.
Yes.
Now, do you
That
have
one is
that
dead.
strobe attached to it or what?
Velcro.
Yeah, that's what I do.
I got a couple different ones. And they both work good. If yeah. I think I'm gonna pack it just in case. I doubt if I'm gonna fly this week. But if I decide I do want to fly and I don't have it, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
But that's the problem. You can't pack everything, and you start thinking, man, if I need it, what if I need it? And you
Yeah,
end
exactly.
up
Yeah, because
packing everything in the world.
you're packing
Yeah.
for an expedition and you don't know if you're going to need it or not.
You basically just moved the whole office into the back of the car.
Right. And there's something to be said about having too many things. I mean, if you pack light, if you only have one lens, if you pack your camera and you only pack one lens, yeah, you might wish you had another lens, but that one lens starts defining the character of how you're shooting, and you don't have to think about stuff. You can focus more on shooting and not the gear required to shoot, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. Must admit, if I
Uh,
only take one lens with me, I take the 35 to 70 zoom.
Yep.
No,
That's why I take
35.
flexible.
Yeah. It's no, it's a 35 to 105 zoom, mine. Yeah.
And it's the key for creativity, is restrictions. If you have every possibility in the world, it kind of frees you because you have every possibility in the world. But if you only have a small number of choices, then you start get creative with those choices. I mean, Picasso had his blue period where he only worked in shades of blue. So those restrictions guide his creativity.
Yeah. I think the ideal situation with my lenses is to take three: a 28mm, a 35 to 105, and a 100 to 300.
Well, in my kit, I've got my 24-70, and I have my 75-300, and then I have my big bad uh, cine lens, which is a 14 millimeter. There it is.
Hmm.
But
That's
I
very wide.
also, yes,
That's a fisheye.
it
So you're
is.
taking two fisheyes. Yeah.
But I also keep my Nifty 50. It's a cheap ass lens, like $100 for that, but it's lightweight. You, it's one of those things that if you're wanting to throw the camera on a neck strap and walk around, you're not carrying a bunch of weight, and you don't need a zoom if you use your feet to zoom in and out, as long as you're not shooting like wildlife or anything. 50 is
Yeah.
a great lens. 50 is that nice balance. It's not quite to a portrait lens, but it's still wide enough that it lets you.
Well, it's the basic lens that used to come with every camera, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I have another, which is technically a 44, that is in my bag, and that's the Russian lens, the Helios 44, and
Uh-huh.
it's a, it's an interesting lens. It's got some interesting qualities to it, but it's a little bit more of a bear to use. You're always fighting your focus on it, but it has some interesting bokeh.
Uh-huh. I know years ago when I used to have a Minolta X700, I had a 500 mirror.
My son is buying a. I don't remember what range it is, but he's buying a mirrored lens. It's an old Russian mirrored lens they found real cheap. It's got the M42 mount, and he's going to use that on. He's gotten into doing actual film photography and developing film here at home, and so
On
I
the
think he's buying.
M42, mostly Pentax in the day.
Well, it also was used uh, on those Russian lenses, the Helios
Mm.
also uses it, so I have to adapt it. Oh, that could use a cleaning. Okay, that's the other problem is when you start packing your gear and you start getting it out, and you say, "Oh, that could use a cleaning," and then you
Yeah.
start just sorting through your gear, and then you're just, I'm no longer packing, and I'm gonna have to be done packing and loaded to go. And if I'm spending my time nitpicking gear, and
I'll just make
I'm gonna
sure
be
you
running
take
behind.
some cleaning stuff with you and clean them when you get them out there.
Oh, I always keep lens pins and wipes in the camera bag.
Yeah.
The where did you go? Okay. I yesterday very nerve wracking to clean your sensor, and I had dust on. I had some spots showing up on my sensor, and so I had to crack open the Sony and clean it.
No, no, Lance. And Lance also said that he's a Pentax man.
You know, I loved my Pentax I had back in the day, ZX5 film camera, and it wasn't an expensive camera. It was pretty cheap
Mm.
camera as far as camera bodies go, but I put that thing through hell, and it just took it. Then
Yes.
once I went digital and stuff, and the Pentax sat there and didn't ever get used, my wife finally convinced me when we moved into this house. It's like, yeah, we need to kind of downsize some stuff, and so I just put it in a rummage sale and got rid of it, and regretted it ever since.
I've
And now that
still
my
got
son is into doing film photography, he's irritated that I got rid of it.
Yeah, I've still got 2 EOS wet film.
Lance
Body.
says he has the K1 full frame Pentax.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah, a not cheap version of a cheap camera. Yeah.
Hey Lance, if you want to join the channel, join the channel. We picked on a kind of a topic, and that's comment. Donald is getting ready for a field trip to go see his grandkids, and he's packing up all of his supplies.
Hmm.
Morning, Lance.
I will not be catching audio, so I can leave audio gear home, and I don't need to pack the GoPro 4.
Lance says
I
that
don't.
he has dozens of Pentaxes that he inherited from his dad.
My dad had Fuji. I've still got one Fuji body upstairs. And a couple of old Agfa bellows lens ones that flip out. 135 mil and one 160 roll.
That works.
Do you still have any 160s, Don?
Do what? I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Do you still have any 160s?
Oh,
Hi, is this Paul?
yes, it is.
I've got an old Russian Lubitel
Just,
My driver
160
with your meal.
and the obviously the what's it, the Brownie.
nobody
Now,
at nobody at my door.
All right, he must have gave me the wrong name. Sorry about that.
That's okay, because that's usually I get it about 10:30. So
Yeah, all right.
okay.
Sorry about that.
My
Bye-bye.
son got a bag of cameras the other day. He got a rangefinder. I don't remember what the model, what brand it was, but he got. So the guy was like had a bag full of crap and just threw all the stuff in. And one of the things he had was, and I don't remember. Let me go see if I can find it. It was basically the very first camera, and I had forgotten it until he pulled that out, and I remember it was the very first camera, and it was a cheap ass camera that my parents just handed me, that they didn't use, and that I was able to
Hey
Good
Joe.
morning.
just take and carry around as a little kid. Let me go find that.
I've been trying for 20 minutes to get on.
Hi, Joe.
Do you suppose it's because of the storm got things all screwed up or what?
No, it's a stupid Apple computer.
Oh,
Mhm.
I haven't had a
Zoom.
Apple computer for years, back when it was the old Apple One, and
I don't have problems getting on StreamYard. It jumps right on. When I'm getting on Zoom now, since they did those updates, it's acting funny.
Nice little flight around your apartments this morning.
Donald's been, yeah, you did a nice little flight around your property there. Donald's in the midst of packing up to go see the grandkids, so he's packing up all his camera equipment and everything, is because his wife wants to do some certain pictures,
Yep. That sounds like fun.
and it's always, he's running into what I call the "why didn't I bring this" mode,
Yep. That's how Lance felt when he didn't bring his Avada to Hawaii.
Oh, is that what the deal was? Okay.
Yeah, he didn't bring his Avada to Hawaii. So he was in withdrawals for a week. Yep.
Yeah, I suppose for you a week in Hawaii is not bad. There's no way that I could warrant going all the way to Hawaii just for a week.
Well, the thing of it is that I think the flight is very inexpensive because he lives on the West Coast.
Yeah,
Just a quick hop across the ocean to Hawaii.
yeah, it's just a couple of hours, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where when I flew to Hawaii from Detroit, I had a layover in San Francisco or a layover in LA. A stop, not a layover, but we didn't deplane, but we just
I didn't where you put it.
because Detroit to the West Coast is about 2.5, 3 hours. And then it was about another 3.5 hours from the West Coast to Hawaii.
Well, I flew to Hawaii one time and one time back. I stayed there 3 years. And then I went there another time on a military deal with a escort. We went with a C-130. So all my flights to Hawaii were free.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hi, Warren, JD.
Yeah, the military. I lived over there for 3 years, stationed there, and they moved me and my ex-wife, my first wife, and 2 stepkids, and then moved us back. You seen that move back all the way to South Carolina. It took a month to get my furniture and everything from Hawaii to South Carolina. And we didn't take that much leave in Hawaii because we had enough time. And all the family came and saw us, so we stayed there for 3 years. We didn't leave.
Now, did they ship your cars and everything?
Yeah, I had one car. I was going to sell it, but I said no, I'm gonna ship it. All I had to do was drive it down to Hickam out there, let them take it, inspect it, and take it. And then it was sitting in South Carolina. I had to go pick it up in Charleston, South Carolina. And that was about 45 days. It took a little longer to get to me. But
Well, did they
we took
send it all by boat, or did they use
yeah, it was all that was by boat.
Yeah.
Everything goes by boat. You just hope one of those containers don't wind up in the water, you know?
Yeah.
Or you do, you get your money, you know, either way.
Yeah, when we
But
used to send stuff to the Seychelles by boat, it used to take about 3 weeks to get there.
Yep. Yeah, we had plenty of time. We took, I think, if I remember right, we took 6 weeks of leave time. So from the time we left Hawaii, we didn't have to go to the next base for 6 weeks. We went home, spent a couple of weeks at home. We spent 4 weeks at home with the families, 2 families, going back and forth between the families. And then we left and drove up the East Coast, saw some people that we knew in Massachusetts. Then we came back into New Jersey, stayed there for a little while with some other people. Then we came down, and we got back. It was 10 days before we had to go to work. And when we went in and looked to see about renting a place, because we were in a hotel the first night, and we rented a place, and we were able to rent right into it, a house. So we made a couple of phone calls, and the furniture was already there. So we I think it was like a Monday when we got back. Wednesday we were moving in the house, and the furniture was being delivered Wednesday. So as we got to the house, the furniture was being brought to us.
That's not too bad.
Well, that was pretty cool. I'll be honest with you, that was pretty cool. I had a moped. I had a moped that was in the shipment that they packed up. So I had my transportation. We had our car, and the moped I was able to get on the base. I had the stickers for the base. So it was. I had transportation until my car came in.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I think we had one thing in a whole shipment damaged out of the whole everything we had. One thing was damaged, and that was the glass pitcher. That it was it was something I can't remember what it was like a Disney one or something special. That was cracked. That was the only thing. Nothing else damaged.
I had to pitch some peanuts. My little squirrelies are out there.
Yep. Yeah, I did. I didn't get to see it, but my son saw the video of that shooting. That police officer shooting in Mandeville. It seems the officer that didn't shoot the guy was somebody that he went to school with, that he knew, and that the guy had been kicked out of the academy the first time because they said he wasn't solid enough. More or less, he was scared. And then he went back to the academy, got through it, and he's the guy that hid for cover and tried to talk the guy down after he's shooting while he's shooting the woman. Yeah, you can't do that. He said it wasn't good. He said it was bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're probably still young for that.
Mhm.
That little flight yesterday around the complex here, I just ran out there and just threw it up just to get it up in the air. Because the winds was in the 30s. I was surprised it handled it.
Mhm.
I woke up this morning and I'm laying there and I'm getting ready to sit up. And the first thing I hear is lightning has been detected in our area. I said, well, that's good. And the next thing I hear is heavy rains are about to enter your area.
Mhm.
So that's how our day is. We're getting that storm is actually, it didn't go up as high as it was supposed to go. It's going across like the Mississippi Louisiana state line, right above us, about 20 miles above us, coming across. That system's right there. So we're getting squall lines through, not big storms.
It
Yeah,
was
we've
rain
had,
up through Missouri, which
Yep.
was good. We needed it.
You could have,
we've had
yeah,
heavy rain.
it's sitting right now over Arkansas, but we got we got a low pressure right above us doing the same thing.
We had heavy rain this morning, and we've had a warning for thunderstorms this afternoon, but it's just cloudy and overcast at the moment.
It's going to go up by Paul too, I think.
Yeah, we're supposed to get starting tonight and tomorrow, like 2 or 3 inches of rain. West of me is supposed to get 4 to 6.
Yeah, it's going right over Grand Rapids.
Yep.
That's in 69 hours. It'll be over Grand Rapids.
Lance says he'll be on when he's made his coffee.
It gives me time to get off, huh?
A little bit too late, Lance.
Gives me time to jump off. The Nevada haters coming off.
Morning, guys.
Hi,
Good
Lance.
morning, Lance.
Too late.
So Donald is packing up, getting ready to take all of his camera equipment and his personal belongings.
No, not all of his camera equipment. That's the problem here. If I was taking all of it, I wouldn't be making decisions, would I?
There won't be enough room for the wife.
Pearl Harbor. No, it's not Pearl Harbor.
Guam. This is me, right? This is me here. This is my younger brother, my older brother, my mom. Our car was on the back end of this boat.
Oh, that
Oh, wow.
really sucks.
Yeah. And a lot of our belongings were back there as well.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, not nice.
This was shot with a Pentax film camera.
Back in the old days when you used to use 35 millimeter film, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Back shot probably in 64 or 65. I think
Yeah.
64, 1964.
Well,
Yeah,
my
there
son
was-
is still shooting on 35 millimeter. He just started doing it recently. He's been developing in the downstairs bathroom, turned it into a dark room.
Does he have a hard time finding 35 millimeter film or no?
No, you can still find it.
Mhm.
A lot of you have a lot less choice nowadays. But
And
Is he
we
trying-
can't find it in grocery stores like we used to be able to, but
Yeah,
you
these
can
be-
You're sitting at the
Yeah.
counter.
online or you go to a camera shop.
B&H photo.
But I bet in St. Louis they sell it in grocery stores too.
Really?
Has he
Of course.
tried transparencies as well?
he has not gotten into doing any. Are you talking like negatives or the positive? Well, actually, neither.
E6.
Neither.
No,
He develops the
film.
films as negatives and so.
So you used to use a different kind of film or a different process when you were making slides from film, right?
I used a positive film stock.
It was fairly the same developing. It's just that obviously you didn't print it onto paper then.
Well, he's not actually printing on paper either. And I used to have a copy stand here. I had gotten rid of it back in the purge to where he could have actually done, if he had wanted to, mounted stuff up and done actual printing. But he's just developing the negatives. He's scanning them in and inverting them and adjusting them from there.
All right, yeah.
So he's got
Yeah,
a little
work.
film scan. He's got film scanner, so he just scans in the direct negative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I say he's got a film scanner. He stole my film scanner. I wasn't using it; it was underneath. But we had bought when my wife's father died. We got all of his old slides and stuff from when he was stationed over in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
and had all of his letters that he had sent home, and all of his slides all of his film that he had shot while he was over there. So it was kind of interesting. Go through and scan a lot of that in. But
Yeah,
then after we got scanned in, we set it to the side and didn't use it. And then my son started this and thought, "Hey, I can steal that."
most
that's
of
what
my
they do.
dad's pictures from when he was younger were of building sites.
That's what they do. They see you're not using it, and they think it's up for grabs.
Mm. Yeah, I've still got my development gear and enlarger tucked away in the
Yeah, got
garage
all
somewhere.
all mine's in a box.
You
My
know,
son
if I
won't
was to
even-
pack one more bag, I could bring all my flashes and stuff.
You're making it a business trip.
Mm.
You're right. Yeah. I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
when my son was moving in 2 years ago, he was going through the closet that had everything stored in, and he said, "You don't develop film. You don't need all this. You can throw it away." I said, "Put it in the storage unit." I said, "You don't know when I might decide to develop something again,
Yeah,
so I don't have to buy it. It's there." I've got 2 rolls of film that's been sitting in there in that box that has never been developed. I don't even have a clue what's on it.
I've still got a few blank 35mm films. Some
so you guys
Fuji Pro.
never been shot, but I think
Yeah.
Joe, what you're talking about is you believe you shot.
Yeah, he shot them, but never.
No, I did shoot. There's 2 rolls I did shoot, but for some reason I never did process. And I found him in there when he was moving, and I said, "I have no idea. I have no idea what's even on this."
Now, can you take it someplace and they have it processed?
Well, I can get it processed, but it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It can't be. It's probably nothing important.
My son's girlfriend, her
Hey, Joe,
mom found a bunch of rolls that she had intended to take in to get developed years ago, but never did. So she found basically a bunch of just exposed film, but she doesn't know what's on it. So he's going to run it through and see if he can get anything to come out.
Mm.
But she didn't store it in like a fridge or anything. It's just been thrown.
Like in a
And then
It all
back up
depends
here.
on where it's at.
Yeah.
If it's in
As long as
a
it's
warm place, you got problems.
somewhere
Yeah.
dark,
So
cool, it'll
yeah,
be all right.
they don't know what he'll be able to get off of it. He's supposed to be doing that this week, I think.
Yeah, my
Developing those-
case, mine have always been in a cool, regulated area.
What will really be bad is if she took some naughty pictures and forgot about it.
I'm telling you. That's why I can't. That's why this was during the time I was married to the second wife when we first got married. That's why I haven't fooled with them and I haven't sent them in because you never know. It might have been, hey, let me take a picture of that negligee. You know.
Mm.
But I've got boxes, cases. You know, that hold like 300 slides, and I've got like 2 or 3 of those full of slides in the back.
Yeah.
And I keep saying, one of these days I'm gonna sit here because I got the scanner to just put it in, press a button,
Yep.
and it puts it right onto an SD card. And I keep saying I'm gonna do this, and I get up there and I do about 10 of them. Then I said, I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah, it's
It's
long-winded.
like it's just I'd have to have nothing to do. I'll play this. I'd have to be retired to do that.
Yeah, that doing my father-in-law slides, that was a weekend job.
Oh, I know.
And
It's a pain.
That's all I did was scan for an entire weekend. Put it, had a little slide viewer, check it, how clean is it? We'd go ahead and clean them off best we could and scan them.
One of those
Yeah,
little
mine's not-
battery ones with a light and a glass screen at the front.
Yep, and just
And mine's buried down there behind me. I can't remember the brand, but mine's you put 5 slides at a time and just bring them one across.
Hmm.
And you press a button and it goes directly. You see right where that's got a big viewer, and you just press a button and it just takes that picture directly on to the SD card.
Hmm.
So you don't even need a computer.
Yeah, mine has to hook up to the computer.
Yeah, I bought that one because I didn't want to hook it to a computer.
What they should do, somebody should invent a slide converter that will fit to your cassette slide projector so that you can just set it running and do like 50 of them at once.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Just throw them in a carousel and go.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
come
that's
next
kinda
week.
cool.
Come next week when he empties out that storage unit and moves into that apartment, and I get my stuff back. This packing play is getting packed up because she don't even get in it. She don't want to even be in it. So the packing play is useless now. And I've got a dresser, a little small dresser that I'm gonna put right here on the side, and I'll be able to clean up this mess behind me, and that'll give me some open area, so that I'll remember what I have back there. You know, then I can start doing some work.
Mm.
That way, in the next 3 to 4 months, I could probably get rid of stuff I don't need.
That was dumb, Don. I grabbed my charger, unplugged it from the wall, and was gonna pack it up, and forgot I had the little Osmo plugged into it still. Well,
Yeah.
I guess that's as much charge as you're getting.
And that kind of changes some perspective sometimes.
Hey, Frank, good morning. Yeah, I would imagine Lance says that he's editing. I would imagine he's got a lot to edit from that week in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, I said my trip last July just got finished editing this July. And that was because my wife was on me about it. It's like, okay, I'll get to it.
Hmm.
But
Oh my God.
that's the problem. I wasn't shooting when we went there and shot. I wasn't shooting for a story or anything. It was just shooting for just to capture what we were doing and for memories. And when you're just capturing for memories, for me, that is the most tedious, painful editing. Is just grabbing stuff and throwing into a musical, like a timeline, just to music. That is just
Yeah.
painful. No story to it. I want a story.
Hmm.
All right. Lightweight monopod or heavy monopod?
Lightweight.
You guys gonna take the lightweight monopod. All right.
You never do the heavy one.
Where is my ball head for this? I
Okay,
don't want
get
to
the
take
heavy
that.
one.
This one could be a weapon. That ball head here, that could be used as a weapon. But where would I have put? There it is. Haha.
Well, you ought to see the one I have on mine.
That's a
I would say
baton.
there's
Oh,
almost a difference on these two.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The one you said it could be a weapon. The one I have is all metal.
Yeah, this is metal.
Yeah.
What brand is this? Even. I don't even remember what brand that is.
Yeah, I'd have to go look at mine.
I mean, the monopod is a Manfrotto, but the ball head, I think it's worn off the logo. Oh, the logo was a plate on here, and it's popped off years ago.
Hmm.
Well, I'll put it this way. I dropped mine one day. It slipped out my hand and hit the ground, and it actually bent where you couldn't go up and down with it. So I just
Mm-hmm.
looked at it. I got a pair of pliers and just twisted it a little bit and bent it right back into shape, and it never missed a beat. You know, it didn't break. It was strong enough that it wouldn't break.
I got two
Yeah.
different monopods too. That's a Polaroid,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the big guy, the Manfrotto.
Yeah, Manfrotto. Yeah.
Now my question is, what do you use them for?
They just sit over in the other room.
I use
So
the big
depends.
guy when I want my Sony A7 out and I want some more stability. And I use this guy when I am walking around, usually with the iPhone.
Hmm.
That is a good question. I will be shooting on that Sony. I'm going to take both. Two monopods pack almost as small as one monopod. That's the beauty of a monopod.
Yep.
Hmm.
No extra room. They'll both go.
This was for when I had big video cameras.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Well, y'all see that lens I carry around for football. That's why I got to have a heavy duty one.
Yeah, there's these friction locks. The heavy duty ones are the,
Yep.
I think those might need tightened down slightly anyway. Okay, maintenance. Oh gosh.
Shoot, it's like going to work this trip.
Well, what do you think of that one? You see that one?
I have a light stand in my kit that has a Post-it note stuck to it. that, or not post-it note, a little piece of painter's tape stuck to it to remind me that I need to tighten it down because the bolt has come loose on one of the extenders. And if I put a heavy light on it, it'll slowly start sinking.
Yeah.
And so I have to always
That
say,
might-
okay, this isn't for the key light, this is for the fill, and just set it to the side because it can hold that a little bit lighter weight and be fine. And so I've got that masking tape on there saying, hey, when you get back to the house, repair this thing. I never do.
Yeah, I've got a stand for my lights when I do the team pictures. I got one stand that the top bolt keeps coming loose, and I'll tighten it and then it'll come loose again. So I've got to put some Loctite on. I keep forgetting to do it, and I use that one for the light that I don't need to worry about that sits in the back, for the backlight part. That I don't have to worry about it going up and down or anything. I just leave it right where it's at.
Can you see this little case that I'm holding?
No, not yet. Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tripod. Take it out.
Yeah, I got one that's about twice as wide and maybe about another 3 inches longer. Big tripod. Yep.
That looks like a nice little travel tripod.
You see it?
Back off just a little bit.
Platypod. Can you see that? Platypod. You
His
set
is
it
bigger
on,
than yours, Don.
and I'll take this off here. This is just a selfie stick here. But this guy is.
Everybody's
Oh,
showing
shit.
their monopods but me.
Paul's channel turned into gear porn today.
I'm telling you.
This is the best tripod you can buy. It's that small. And I've got clips so you can hook it up to like a fence or a door.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, these are great. Best product. And I think they're about $100.
Yeah.
Plaid.
I think you showed that to us before, and I think I looked it up.
Yeah. And you still haven't gotten one.
Nope.
You've invested too much in your Avada too.
It's right. Hey, Paul, I made this last night.
This will work better if I turn off the background, won't it?
Oh, it's got all his hot stuff right there.
Yeah, I printed
man.
a little stand for it. All the hot sauces fit right on it.
There we go.
Hey, Paul, that's a 1985 camera, it looks like.
No,
Video
this is a Russian night scope called a
Oh.
Panther.
The
And
old
where's that? What corner of the house is that sitting in?
It's sitting over there on a table.
No. See it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see that.
It's got a button right here. You push the button.
And it's an extending one, so it stands about 4 foot tall. Really nice.
Push the button and it lights it up, and
Just gold enough.
everything's green.
A little case.
Here's my latest camera. I
Yep.
think this is an iPhone 6.
Lance, you know what the best camera is? The one
What's
you
that?
have with you.
That is right. You know who said that? You know who coined that phrase?
I probably don't.
Chase Jarvis. And he's a very famous photographer, lives here in Seattle. And he wrote a book.
Good. It's a good phrase.
Yep, the best camera you have is the one you have with you. And he's got a little book, and it's like a little table book. It's like that big. I mean, you know, and of course they're all prints from his iPhone back in 20,000 and 9, when the iPhones were terrible. And
Yep.
the biggest print you could get was a 4x6, and those were even
Yep.
grainy at times.
Oh, the iPhone 3. Mm,
But the
I've still
But-
got iPhone 3 upstairs.
I
But if
forgot
you
my
don't need-
iPhone 5.
if you don't need to print, you don't need a big camera. If you want
You're
to
right.
print, you're screwed.
Man, I had to shoot something a couple of weeks back, and it was one of the signings, and the football team comes out and gets around the guy. We got about 60 people in the picture, and I'm standing there with a 120 lens in the gym, and I'm looking at them, and I say, "Y'all really think so, huh?" Like this, and I put the camera down, and they're looking at me like, "Oh, you gonna take the picture?" I reached in my pocket, got the iPhone 15 Max Pro Max, put it in horizontal, took a shot. I said, "There you go." And then that's the one that went in the paper.
Hmm.
My editor laughed. He said, "I knew you were gonna pull your iPhone out." I said, "Yep, worked. It worked for the paper."
I used to tell people back when it was even on my Razr phone that if I wanted to, I could shoot a commercial with just an old, like early day cell phone. You can shoot a commercial. You just have to figure out how you're going to do it. It may not be the greatest detail, but that's okay. You
Yeah.
work with what you got, and you use it as a creative tool. You figure out a solution around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see, the Marine Corps used to say, we used to have a saying in the Marine Corps when I first got in, it was, "We the unwilling, we the willing are working for the ungrateful, and we're doing the impossible with absolutely nothing. We have done so long with so little that now we can do anything with nothing or something." I can't remember exactly how it went, but that's how it felt like in the early Marine Corps. With absolutely nothing. That was what it was.
Sounds a bit like a new advert for joining the Navy or the Army over here, where the guy says he was born in Teesside and where he went after that is classified. But he visited lots of places with which nobody will be able to find on the map, with people who he weren't actually with. And considering that he's been all over the place, officially he's been nowhere.
Yep. Yep.
Osmo is charged.
Oh, shoot, I'm trying to make a decision. I've got the Mini 3 Pro that I've got to do care refresh on because it's 2 years now. If I want to do care refresh for another year, or just say the hell with it.
I've just
Or
done
do I
one.
want to?
Cost me
Or do I want to? Yeah, it's like $79.
Yeah, that's cheaper
And then I
than
got the Action 2 is the same thing. It's $25 for another year. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just do the care for one more year on them.
Yeah, I think £70 is going to be closer to $95 at the moment.
Where's everybody feel about? Are we going to still be flying drones in another 2 years?
That's only 1 year.
It's only 1 year. So, but I'd rather have care refresh on it. I don't fly it that much. That's the thing. I'd rather have care refresh on it in case I fly it into something. But do I want to put care refresh? I'm actually thinking about selling the Mini 3 Pro.
Sure. I have card and camera. We're good on batteries, lenses, storage, clean kit. That one can get locked up.
Well, you heard what Jonathan did with his, haven't you?
No.
Well, he had it up for sale and tried selling it, didn't he, for ages. In the end, he took it back to Banggood, got his money back, and bought an Xbox.
Hmm. That was Best Buy, I guess, huh?
Best Buy, sorry, not Banggood. Yeah.
Yeah, because Best Buy will give you money back all the time. Fuck you.
So, wait, Jonathan he didn't get rid of all of his drones. He just got rid of one of them.
Yeah, just his Mini 3.
Okay.
Less 15%.
What?
Well, I don't think State Farm will let me put it on the policy because the receipt's 2 years old. You know.
Oh, they tax off it, do they? Or is that classed as a handling charge, the 15%?
Probably.
Yeah, repackaging.
Well, I think he's got that Super Tech thing he pays so much a year for, so he might get the whole thing back.
All right. My wife is home, so I think we're gonna start packing up and going, guys. So
Okay, Dan, have a good trip.
Yep.
Later, Donald.
Check
Thank
in
you.
if you get a chance. So, Joe, what's your plan for the day?
It's raining. That's my plan. I went through some pictures yesterday, and I got some more kids I found, and I can't find any more. So I'm gonna have to go show them these pictures. And then I'm gonna start preparing, probably starting this next week. I'm getting all the mats set up, the background set up for this year's pictures, because the pictures are 2 weeks from now. I'll be on my second day of pictures.
So what do? You take all your stuff there and set up like a mobile studio?
Yeah, I'll set up the studio in a weight room. In a corner, I'll find out a corner of the weight room I could put it in, and hopefully I could find a place where I could put it up and leave it this year. I won't have to take it down and put it right back up. But last year, I probably have to do that because I'll just put the stuff in his office afterwards, and then take it back out.
How many pictures you got? And
how many pictures? Well, we're starting at 5 o'clock to take the pictures. And then by the time we get the team picture done, it'll be about 2 hours. That's the first day. Second day, it'll be about 2.5 hours because I got about 120 kids. But it's easy. It's usually easy because what I do is I make them come in. They got there's a make your pose. Pose. You got a couple poses choices. You're standing in front of the green screen. I shoot your picture and you go. Get away from it. That's all it is. They come in. We come in with their helmet and the football, and do a pose. That's all I want.
Just one picture of each, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do 2 shots of them. The first one will be just a headshot. It'll be just a shot of them, like on a little bit of it'll be a straight looking at me shot.
Yeah,
that'd be a headshot, and then the second shot will be I'll let them pose and then they can go. And I normally never look at my pictures when I'm shooting because I'm looking through the viewfinder when I shoot. And for some reason, I'm pretty good at telling if you blinked or not. I guess it's over the years. But when I shoot the football pictures like that, I double check them. I look at them every time. I don't use a tripod. I know a lot of people stick it on a tripod and just press a button, but I don't use a tripod because I have a chair. I'll sit in the chair where I'm at, and I'm perfect for what I need. It just grab the camera, take a shot, and I'm using a 55 millimeter lens, so I'm not having to do anything. I'm actually it's the whatever that 20 to 70 is, or whatever it is they have, 30 to 70
Mhm.
Canon, and I just put a piece of tape on it and hold it at 50 millimeters. That way it doesn't vary, and the dimensions won't look different. Just makes it a little easier to shoot like that. And then I got to go back in 2 weeks. After that, the first week of August, where we're going to do all the team picture for the varsity. It's a bigger team picture. And then we do all the different position group pictures. So when they do all of that, that takes about an hour and a half. So I'll have 2 weeks to get all the individual pictures. The hardest part is not shooting the pictures. That's work. Because it's not cool back there, but it's not warm. So I'll break a sweat. And then the hardest part is packing up, getting everything back home, which is not a lot, but still the hardest part. And then when I get here, the first thing I've got to do, and this is where the pain in the ass is, and I'll be doing this for 2 days. I'll be doing the freshmen, all the freshman team is doing the first day. I got to take the freshman roster and go through each picture and rename each picture where I keep the last the digits, the image number.
Yeah.
But in front of it, I'll put I gotta look at how my format is. I can't remember. I put like 2024, and then it'll say 2024, and then it'll have MHS F for freshman. Then it'll have the number, the grade, and then that picture, the name and the picture number. So the name is on. Actually, I don't put the MHS on. I put the 2024 and the name, and then whatever the freshman is, and that. So when I look at the image, I got the name right there.
Yeah.
And I go back, and if I shoot 3 pictures of them, I gotta just add that name 3 times on it. And I do it with the Apple because it's easy to do. I can batch it. And then once I go through all the pictures, I got all the names on them. Then it's all green screen. Then I bring it over, and I got to go through what they call it. It's like a green screen editor program I have. All I have to do is stick it on there, and it'll extract everything and give me a mask. Then I got to go back and double check the mask and make sure it's clean. If they're wearing anything green, I've got to make a copy of it and add it to the backside so the green comes back.
Yeah.
So it takes me just to go through the freshmen the first day, because the freshmen are going to be about 50 people. And that's going to take me most of the day on. When I get back here, I'll be working Monday night, probably till about 11. And then I'll probably be working about 4 hours in the morning, getting everything extracted. And then I'm ready to start again. Once I get everything extracted, then I got to go back and put them on the mats. And that's why I'll make sure the names are spelled right. So I'll copy the names. So if I copy the name off the picture, and then I go where the name goes, I just paste it in. So I don't have to retype it. Because when I find out I retype it, sometimes I miss letters.
Yeah.
So you make sure you got it spelled right the first time. And then this is the other thing. I'm going off the roster.
Yeah.
The chance that the roster's wrong,
Yeah. So
I've
do you
had
put
that happen.
once you've done that, you put the same background behind everybody?
Yeah. So that's easy to do after that, Same backgrounds there. All I got to do is pop them in, position them, put the name, and that's it,
Yeah.
Because I don't have to put the number because they got the number on them. And that's why I don't use it. I don't use I used to have it where I had a number on it, to change the number, and had to do all that. I said, oh, hell no. I'm not working that hard. But it takes me about an hour to get into that workflow to remember how to do it all. But once I get that workflow down, it's quick. I'll sit here, and this is what I like about. It's going to be in July. This is even going to be better. The hard part's in July. I'll just throw on a Hallmark Christmas movie. Got the Christmas movie running in the background, and I'll be doing them, watching a Christmas movie, doing them one at a time. You know. So
Yeah.
by the time the Christmas movie's over, I'll have almost all of them finished.
Mhm.
That's my routine for team pictures with football.
And how many different teams?
Just Mandeville. I got the freshman varsity.
Yeah, no, it's only one school, but don't they have like 4 teams or something like that?
Yeah, they have their freshman, JV, and varsity, so it's 3 teams. But I'll shoot varsity all with JV, and then I'll shoot what you call it the freshman a separate day, and then in about another couple of weeks after that, I'll be shooting I have to go to junior OTC to do all the seniors in their dress blues for posters, and then hopefully I'll get volleyball back, and I'll do volleyball in another week, and then I sit around and wait for basketball.
So Mark, he doesn't shoot for any other high school, just that high school.
It's
Yeah.
just at high school. I was shooting for Fontainebleau now. Now she may call me this year and say we want you back because I heard their pictures sucked last year.
Mhm.
And if I wanted to really work, I could push it and probably get a couple of schools.
Did you not hear
But I'm so-
anything? No.
I haven't heard anything yet. Still waiting.
Mm.
Still waiting.
Because they have so many different sports, don't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm actually one of them that asked me last year, but he changed schools. That was a coach. He asked me, "Is there any way I could do wrestling this year?" The wrestling team,
Mm.
and I said, "Sure." It's only about 10 people.
Well,
I'll do
you
it.
got
No
got
big deal.
girls and boys soccer too, right?
Yeah, I got girls soccer. I don't have boys,
Do you not do
but
and field, and what you want to get into is the swimming and the diving?
oh no, it's high school. No, I've seen their bathing suits. No, I don't want to shoot them.
Mind you,
Yeah,
in
the
track,
bathing suits.
track
I
and
do
field,
I do I do
most-
track for North Shore. I did track for Mandeville 1 year. I did their cross country, and they told me, they said some the guy called me down the street that does posters, and he said they said that they gave him for some reason they gave him one of my pictures, and they wanted to know if I had the negative for. I said, what for? He said, well, they said they were printing like a 16 by 20 for each of the seniors. And I said, who said that? And he said, the coach. It was the Booster Club. So I contacted the coach, and he said it had to be the Booster Club. They had taken one of my pictures, and they were going to make a special, like a poster platform out of it. And he was calling me to get the original file. And I said, no, that's not the way it works. So
Yeah.
I told the Booster Club, I said, I'll make them for you, but this was and he was going to charge them $25 a piece. It was like 10 of them you needed. I said, I'll make them for you, and I could charge you 20 a piece. They got pissed off with me, and they said I couldn't shoot them anymore. And I told them, I said, it's my picture, it's not your picture. Like that. I said, I got to offer you cheaper than him. And I said, so I'm not letting you do it. I don't give you permission to do that. That's not part of the deal. They did it anyway with somebody else and gave them out, and they made a mistake on putting a picture of it. I said to Booster Club a bill.
Yeah.
Like that. And I went to the principal, and the principal went to the Booster Club and said, he's right. You owe him that.
Yeah. Royalties.
Like that. So and I said, I'm just doing it for a point to prove it. I don't want the money. But don't do that to people, you know? So they won't even let me shoot them anymore. So it's like, it's good. Don't worry about it. It's your kids that don't get in the pictures.
Mm.
They have
Yeah.
a parent that goes out and they go out there with the cell phones and do pictures and try to make them packages with it.
Mm.
But that's all it is. It's you can't be friends with them. You got to make it business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm at the point where I'm hoping the Marine Corps comes through with this crap, so that I can get out of this completely for a while. And I don't have to worry about if I'm doing team pictures this year. The little things.
Mm. Yeah.
I like the fact that if I don't have to do anything, I don't have to do anything.
Mm.
It happens.
It'd be nice to be able to keep the most lucrative part of it, dispense with the mundane.
Yeah, that's what I said. I've actually said I'd probably keep shooting for the paper. That's what I'd probably do for sure, just to keep the state press credentials along with mine.
Yeah.
Just to have them. Because that's a good thing to have.
Okay, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. We're down to people watching.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
we'll see all of you again later today.
Yeah, should be around.
Yep.
Okay. Stay out
Take
of the
care.
rain there, Captain Joe.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.